So what are you going to focus on in 2019? Do you have a word of the year? Do you have goals, resolutions? Stay tuned and I'm going to reveal all of mine right here. Hi all, Janae here, also known as the Well-Rounded Black Girl. I am back with another video. It is 2019 and I am super excited about all of the possibilities. I hope you are too, and I hope that we are just gonna share in our excitement together and really communicate that, because I'm loving so far hearing everybody's goals, like I said, resolutions for the upcoming year. It's just been inspiring already. So as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking today about my word of the year and some of the goals that I have for this year. I'm going to lay out, or not lay out, but I'm going to tell you all about my 4 goals for 2019. So I know I mentioned in a previous video that my word for 2018 was discipline. And again, that was a moderate success. I will link that video below if you're interested in watching it. I was disciplined in a lot of areas and brought forth, created a lot of opportunities in my life through that discipline. But there were other areas where I could have just done better and I did not kind of stick to that word. And so I've done some reflection and I've come up with a new word for 2019, and I think that it encompasses discipline, but it also lends itself to a lot of other concepts that fit me. So my word for 2019 is commit. It feels good to say that out loud and to just kind of put it out into the atmosphere. I haven't told many people what that word is yet, and so I'm really excited to share that all with you. So I have a lot of areas in my life where I want to change or stop doing something or begin doing something. And I think commit is the perfect word because it makes sure that I'm going to see all of those changes through. Now, commit is a word that means a lot to me, and it's basically just because I'm a type of person who, and I've figured this out about myself over the last few years, I really like ideas. I love brainstorming. I love just generating lots of different ideas, thinking outside of the box, thinking about how to solve a problem, or even if there's no problem in front of me, I like coming up with ideas, and I get a little jolt from that. But I don't always like implementing those ideas. It's not always the most fun. Once something gets bogged down in details, I tend to kind of say, okay, someone else can see this through. I'm not saying I'm an irresponsible person. I don't think that at all. I'm not talking about things in terms of my job or actual responsibilities that I have, but just general ideas that kind of pop up for me. And I might say, oh, I want to start a circus. That's not true, but it's an example. And I might get really excited about all the things that could be in the circus and have all these ideas. And then if someone were to come to me and say, we want you to start a circus, I'd be like, I have these ideas. I can give them to someone else. I'm sure someone else can start that circus. So it's just, I get a lot of excitement from ideas that I don't necessarily get from implementing those ideas. And so the thing is, if I'm excited about the implementation process, that's kind of how I know that I can proceed with a project. So as we know, everybody's different, right? We all like to plan differently, think differently, process differently, and so it makes sense that we all will go about our goal setting differently or our vision setting differently, whatever stage you're at. And so a lot of people, right, like to be busy, and they like to have their hands in a lot of different projects at once, and that works for them. I know that although I like to come up with ideas pretty rapid fire, once I settle on an idea, I'm all about the deep dive. I will research and plan and all of that to make sure that this project is going to be a success. Now, none of that is actual implementation, so that's the part that I want to work on with the commit word. But I will just deep dive, and no matter what else I have to do, aside again from work and dire personal responsibilities, I will just deep dive into a project, again, regardless of what else I have going on. And I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that all of the projects, anything extra that I take on, it aligns with my purpose and my vision and everything else that I have for myself, the plan that I have for myself. I want to make sure that the things I do align with that. One of the reasons that commit is such a big deal to me, it makes sense for me as a person, is because it's going to force me to say any opportunity, whether it's an opportunity to start a whole business or it's an opportunity to like go out this Saturday night. What does that mean? Is it something, one, that like I might be excited about it now, but am I going to be excited about it when it happens, or when I'm like deep in, you know, trying to figure out how to make it work? Is it something that can fit on my plate with everything else that I have on my plate? Like, I need to be very honest with myself and very clear about how this aligns with, again, my vision, my purpose, and everything else that I'm doing, to make sure that I'm going to see this through to the end. For me, commit is a little bit about self-care, because I feel horrible. There's a debilitating, just horribleness, I don't even know how to put that into words, when I can't follow through on a commitment, or when I can't, you know, fulfill a promise. And I think it's because it's not that I say yes to everything. It's like I'm genuinely excited about so many different things, but I have to be honest with myself. Like, how excited am I going to be about this in a month, in 2 months, in 6 months? You know, whatever the scope of the project is, tomorrow, in 3 days, whatever the scope, again, the time ranges for the project, whatever it is. Am I going to still be excited about it? Am I going to want to see this through? And sometimes the answer is going to be no, and I have to be okay with that. I have to be okay with saying, I don't think this is going to hold my interest long term. Now, I don't necessarily have to say that to somebody, but it's worth being honest and saying, I think this project deserves somebody who is going to absolutely see it through to the end, and I don't think that's me right now. And so commit is about a lot of things. So just all of that wrapped up, I'm just saying that commit to me brings together discipline and discernment and focus and specificity and intentionality and self-care. All of those things are kind of bound together by the word commit for me. And so that's why I chose it as my word for this year, because I, one, don't want to upset or leave anyone in the lurch when I've committed to something that I'm not going to see all the way through, and because it will just help me to really evaluate what my priorities are. I think that's a big part of the commit piece, is what are my priorities? And if it doesn't fall in the top few, then I'm gonna have to let it lie for now. Not to say I can't pick that back up, but right now it's just not gonna be something that I'm going to take on, or it is something I'm absolutely willing to take on, and I think I can see it through to the end, and I feel like it can fit on my plate with everything else going on, and it aligns in this way. Sometimes that's gonna be the answer too, but I just wanna be very clear about everything that I'm doing, and so that's why I've chosen commit. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I also have some goals that I'm going to share with you all. Now, I brainstormed some different things that I might like to do this year and came up with a list of about 10 or so, but in my effort to commit, I pared it down to 4 overarching goals that I feel like are going to help me to be where I would like to be by the end of this year. So this first goal I talked about in my goal setting video, and it's fairly simple. I just want to write the first draft of a book by the end of 2019. And so for me, you know, I've broken all of my goals down into quarterly goals, and I'm happy to talk that through too if people are interested. But I have a plan for making sure that I can finish the first draft of a book by 2019. And so I feel like that's a pretty good goal, because it matches with a lot of the things that I want to be doing with my life. First of all, some level of independence, and also just being able to share kind of my thoughts with the world. I just love that idea, and it's something that has stuck with me over the past few years, and so I'm really dedicated to that. So my second goal is that I would love to launch my life coaching practice and have at least 2 consistent clients by the end of the year. So that includes like kind of forming my business practices, but also developing a signature program. There's lots that goes into that, and again, that kind of hit in my quarterly goals, but I'm super excited about it, and it's just something that I've wanted to do for so long, and I think that because I'm paring this down to 4 goals for the year, it's something that I'm actually going to be able to focus on and really kind of deep dive into without a whole lot of competing priorities. So my third goal is an overall health goal, and that means mental and physical and emotional for me. A lot of it focuses on fitness, just because I feel like I've been doing a lot of that mental and emotional work, and I do want to still carry that through. That's why it's an overall health goal. But I do want to kind of focus on the diet and fitness part of this. And so I don't have a specific like amount of pounds I want to lose or like whatever, but I do want to, you know, start off the year working out 1 to 2 times a week, because like it's so sporadic when I do now, and then gradually grow to maybe like 3 times a week by the end of the year. So that's kind of the specific piece. I also want to have, you know, month by month different things in terms of my diet that I am paying attention to. So for January, it is sugar. I want to drastically lower my sugar intake to the point where it's like just super low. And so aside from, I guess, natural sugars and fruits and stuff like that, but like even things like, I've done this before and I felt awesome, and that's why I want to do it again. But things I didn't think of before, like ketchup or gum, stuff like that, I want to be very like focus on the things that I put into my body and making sure that my sugar intake is low. And then I have some of those mental and emotional health topics, things that I've been doing. I just want to carry that through and be more intentional about it. I want to journal. I want to have my daily meetings with myself, basically to keep all of my goals in front of my face and help me to feel good when I, you know, when I hit a goal, when I surpass a goal, when I'm clearly on track to hit a goal, you know, before the end of the year. I want to be happy about my goals before the end of the year. And so I'm really excited about that. My 4th goal is a financial health goal. So I have a certain amount of money that I want to save and a certain amount of debt that I want to pay down. And I might share that in future videos. Right now, I'm not going to get into all of that. But I do have this beautiful budget worksheet. My line sister and close friend, one of my best friends, is really on a financial journey where she is, you know, striving to get out of debt, to save, to all of that, to have you know, just a freer life in terms of financial freedom. And so I'm so happy that she's doing that, and I'm kind of all in, invested in her projects and how they can help to benefit me. And that sounds selfish, but that's what she wants. She's like kind of doing something similar. She's not necessarily doing videos, but she is, you know, has a Facebook platform for financial freedom. And so I am super excited about that, and it's honestly just been great. And so I really think that with the support of that group that she's built and cultivated on Facebook, I really think that I'll be able to make some spending changes, some saving changes, and really like get to I don't know that I'll be where I want to be at the end of 2019, like for my life. I definitely won't be, but I will be closer, and I think I'll be able to look back and say I've made so much progress. I am so excited about all of my goals because they really kind of align with my vision and my purpose of just being my best self so that I can help other people be their best selves. And that's really important to me, and it's just something that I'm just so happy about, honestly. And some of those pesky stories still kind of, you know, sneak their head in every now and then. You know, you've let your physical and your financial health deteriorate in the past. Why? What says you won't do it again? Or, you know, you've already tried to write a book, it didn't work out the way you planned. Like, why are you going to do that again? You clearly can't do it. Or coaching, like, who wants to be coached by you? Like, those stories, those thoughts, those ideas still come up. But to me, committing also has to do with having a well thought out plan that is, again, well thought out, but also flexible so that it can so I can adjust when needed. Making sure that the things that I do align with my purpose and vision. That is really the crux of everything. The biggest thing that I want for 2019 is to not allow negative self-talk to hold me back from what I want to do. You know, the only difference between, and I've said this before, but the only difference between this upcoming year and past times when I've tried to do things before is that this year, I mean, it's just beginning. I have, you know, a metaphorical blank slate to work with, and I've allowed stories and negative self-talk to defeat me in the past, and now I'm more aware of that, and I can work to not have that happen again. You know, this year is new, it's burgeoning, and so I have all the power to make it into what I want to make it into. I can't do anything about the times that I failed in the past, or the times that things didn't work out the way I planned for them to happen in the past. But I can plan to move forward and learn from my mistakes and learn from my errors, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. All right, that is enough about me. If you have any goals for the year, if you have a word for the year, I would love to hear it. Definitely leave it in the description or in the comments below. I'm like, it's a spiraling downward, guys. Leave it in the comments below. Hit me up on social media. Everything is linked in the description box below. And again, I'm just super excited to hear what you all have planned for this upcoming year. That's all I have for right now. Welcome to 2019, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.